A Sunday in Scotland, Sam, Heughan, Caitriona, Balfe, and a little boy's big game. It wasn't the red carpet flashing lights or thundering applause that caught attention this weekend. It was something far simpler, far more real. On a crisp Sunday afternoon in Edinburgh, Sam, Heughan, and Caitriona, Balfe were spotted in the stands of Murrayfield Stadium, bundled up in scarves and laughter, cheering not for fame, but for family. The couple, known around the world for bringing Jamie and Claire Fraser to life, were enjoying a rare weekend away from film sets. But this time it wasn't for work. It was for their little boy, a spirited, wide-eyed rugby fan who couldn't stop jumping every time his favorite team neared the try-line. Witnesses said Sam looked every bit the proud dad, leaning forward, explaining game tactics with that signature spark in his eyes. Caitriona, sitting beside him, shared warm glances that spoke volumes, the kind of love that doesn't need grand gestures, just quiet moments and shared smiles. At halftime, the trio strolled around the edge of the field, hand in hand. Sam carried a small backpack with snacks, while Caitriona helped their son wave a tiny Scottish flag. There was laughter, a few playful shoulder bumps, and that unmistakable bond of a family comfortable in its own rhythm. Honestly, they were just like any other parent set of fans sitting nearby. No entourage, no cameras, just them enjoying the game. You could tell how happy they were. After the match, the family reportedly stopped by a cozy cafe near Dean Village, a familiar haunt for Edinburgh locals. Sam held the door open for Caitriona, their son clutching a signed rugby ball, grinning from ear to ear. It wasn't Hollywood. It wasn't scripted. It was life, simple, genuine, and perhaps more cinematic than any show they've ever starred in. Later that evening, Caitriona shared a photo on Instagram, the stadium in the background, 3 pairs of hands clinking hot chocolate cups. The caption read simply, "Best team we've ever cheered for." Fans flooded the comments. Some reminisced about Outlander, others wrote how beautiful it was to see their favorite duo finding joy in quiet family moments. One user captured the sentiment best. "They gave us love on screen, and now they're living it for real." Open ending. As the sun dipped below the Edinburgh skyline, the family disappeared into the crowd, just another trio laughing in the golden light. No cameras followed, no headlines screamed. Only the echo of a child's laughter and a couple's shared glance remained proof that sometimes the happiest endings aren't written in scripts, but lived in small, perfect Sundays. When the final whistle blew and the crowd began to scatter, Sam lifted their son onto his shoulders, the boy's laughter echoing through the chilly Edinburgh air. Caitriona walked beside them, her coat fluttering in the wind, one hand holding onto Sam's arm for warmth. It was one of those golden moments, ordinary yet irreplaceable. They walked through the narrow cobbled streets of Stockbridge, past old stone bridges and antique shops still glowing with soft light. The air smelled of roasted chestnuts and rain. For once, no one called out their names. The city, usually alive with noise, seemed to hum a gentle tune just for them. At a small riverside cafe, they stopped for dinner. Sam ordered a bowl of Cullen skink creamy fish soup, while Caitriona and their son shared a plate of fish and chips. He teased her for stealing his fries, and she laughed, eyes shining like she hadn't been the serious actress in years. "You know," she said softly, "I miss this. Just normal days." "Normal's the new luxury," Sam replied, smiling. Their son, between mouthfuls, lifted his head. "Can we come again next weekend?" "Maybe," Caitriona answered, brushing a crumb from his cheek. "If your dad doesn't shout too loud next time," Sam chuckled. "That's part of the game, lad." They lingered until evening fell, watching the river shimmer under the lamplight. The boy eventually fell asleep on Caitriona's shoulder, his tiny hands still clutching the rugby ball, his trophy of the day. Sam took off his jacket and wrapped it around them both. No cameras, no scripts, just love, quiet and complete. Back home, after tucking their son into bed, Sam stood by the window overlooking the Edinburgh skyline. The city twinkled like a sea of memories. "Do you ever think," he asked, "that maybe all the stories we told led us here?" Caitriona looked at him, the same man who once played her eternal love on screen, now pouring tea in their kitchen. "Maybe," she whispered, "maybe the best stories don't end. They just change scenery." The kettle whistled softly, the wind brushed against the glass. Somewhere in the distance, a stadium light flickered off. Tomorrow would be another ordinary day, school script schedules. But tonight they had what mattered most: peace. Epilogue: the sound of home. Later, Caitriona posted one more picture, this time a blurry shot of Sam carrying their son through the misty street. The caption read, "No premiere, no set, just home." And in the quiet hearts of their fans, that simple line said everything. The next morning arrived quietly, wrapped in a soft mist that rolled over the hills like breath on glass. The Heughan's countryside home stood on the edge of the Highland stone walls, kissed by ivy, the scent of peat smoke curling from the chimney. It was the kind of morning that made time slow down. Sam was already outside when Caitriona woke his laughter faintly echoing from the meadow. Through the window she could see him teaching their son how to throw a rugby ball. The little boy's arms were small, but his determination was fierce, every throw landing just a bit closer than the last. Caitriona smiled, pulling on her wool sweater and stepping out into the dew-drenched grass. The air was cold, sweet, alive. A few sheep grazed nearby, and the sky, a pale silver, seemed to promise rain, but held back as if not to interrupt the moment. "Good throw, lad," Sam's voice carried across the field. "Like this, Dad, I perfect, you'll beat me one day." The boy's giggle rippled through the valley. Caitriona stood watching for a while, her heart swelling in quiet awe. She'd seen Sam perform countless times, strong, fierce, commanding on screen, but never as beautiful as now, running barefoot through the wet grass with their child in his arms. When they finally noticed her, the boy ran up first. "Mum, look, I can throw like Dad, you're both trouble," she teased, tousling his hair. Sam grinned, slipping an arm around her shoulders. "Come on, join the match. Winner makes breakfast." They played until the mist lifted and the sun began to warm the fields. Sam pretended to lose, letting the boys score, while Caitriona cheered with exaggerated excitement. It was silly, imperfect, and perfect all the same. Afterwards, they sat on the old wooden fence overlooking the valley. The boy munched on toast legs, swinging. Caitriona leaned against Sam's shoulder, her hair glinting gold in the morning light. "Do you ever miss the noise?" she asked softly. "Sometimes," Sam admitted. "But I think I've spent enough years chasing the world. Now I just want to be here where I can hear my son laugh and you breathe beside me." The wind brushed past them, carrying the scent of wild heather and pine. Caitriona closed her eyes. "Then let's stay a little longer," she whispered. "Forever sounds about right," Sam said. Their son, not understanding but smiling anyway, looked up. "Does forever mean every weekend, Dad?" They both laughed and Sam kissed the top of his head. "Aye, something like that." Somewhere in the distance, a church bell chimed. The clouds drifted apart, revealing the blue heart of the sky. For a brief moment, the world seemed impossibly kind, a place where love, laughter, and the smell of wet grass were enough. Epilogue: The Gentle Hours. Later that day, Caitriona shared a quiet photo, the three of them walking hand in hand through the field, sunlight spilling across their path. Her caption was just 4 words: "Where life feels real." And once again the world fell silent, not because of fame, but because everyone recognized it. This was what happiness truly looked like.